Hey y'all, Disobey. And today we're going to discuss the absolute nature of reality, okay? I, as nobody, as no thing, as a fool who persisted in his folly, as a drunk who stumbled upon truth, I am making this video claiming to know more about the absolute truth of reality than our materialistic, academic, educated experts, okay? And I started describing myself that way because it's important to understand, you guys, that truth is available for everyone, for all of us, for you. I'm nobody. I am a fool. I am a drunk, okay? And I am willing. If they ever came up to me, I would go toe-to-toe in a philosophical debate with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Sean Carroll, Brian Cox, Brian Greene. You pick any of them. I have a video listing 27. You pick. I'm not claiming to know more about how nature behaves, about how reality behaves. That's their department. That's science and stuff. But if they're claiming to know the absolute truth about nature, or that the absolute truth involves math or logic or language or formulas of any kinds or systems of any kind, they're wrong. And I'm here to tell them. And I've got the Gödel grenade to prove it. I've got Kurt Gödel on my side. I don't need their approval anymore, and you don't need them either. You guys, they're not wrong in their field. They're wrong in claiming that you are a biological meat computer and that consciousness arises out of physical material. First off, guys, nobody's ever found matter, okay? Matter's not a real thing. Matter is a philosophical term, and I have yet to see this video, but apparently Neil deGrasse Tyson has a video called on Kurt Mungel's channel called He Doesn't Know What Belief Is. Buddy, no offense, but your whole system, your whole life is based off belief, because matter isn't real, okay? And I'm here to prove it to you through the polar bear axiom. See, you guys, we have to do our research, but they have a huge problem. These physicalists, these materialists, these scientismists, because that's what Neil is, that's what Brian Cox is, that's what Brian Greene is, that's what Sean Carroll is. They're more than just materialists. They think everything depends on science, and it's not true. Science and math and language come from us, the observer, okay? Whenever these people talk to us, you guys, they leave out that we have a huge problem with the observer, and they don't even have a huge problem with an observer, you guys. They have a huge problem with Kurt Gödel. Kurt Gödel created something called the Incompleteness Theorem, and he said, and never been a human, never been a computer, never been a quantum computer that can disprove Kurt Gödel's theorem that says any logical system that uses like language, math, anything intelligent like that that uses it, it's always incomplete. There are truths that can be proven and not proven. That's what it says. Guess what that is, you guys? That's the gap, that's the hole, that's the awareness, that's us, that's you, that's me. When they say measurement problem, it's the observer problem. It's not just measurement, it's observer. We observe things, and the quantum field collapses, guys, okay? But it doesn't even collapse, because nothing's ever truly collapsed. When you pay attention to Schrodinger and Wheeler, you guys, it's all just one energy thing fluctuating back. I'm not scientific like that. All I know is that Schrodinger got it to the wave, and then Wheeler took it further to one electron, and then I just mapped my experience of my void seizure. I had a seizure due to withdrawal, and I literally voided out for, like, I just say to be generous, like 3 seconds, but it was really instantaneously. But, like, guys, being generous to the EMTs, anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes, maybe even 15 minutes, had gone by in the physical world, because they had to get to the place where I was. They had to, you know, get me on the street, you know, on top of them, making the phone call, getting a wallet in my mouth, my coworkers. Guys, it was the whole thing. But instantaneously, I woke up in the ambulance, you guys. It's a whole thing. I'm not really going to try not to describe my seizure right now. I'm just telling you guys, and I'm telling them. I have other videos talking about my seizure. I have experienced the void, not by meditating and not by any sort of virtue, okay? By drunken addiction and seizures, okay? By being a fool, by being a drunk, okay? But you guys, you need to understand that I was never not there. And now, to describe the polar bear axiom. The polar bear, this is really what a polar bear looks like, you guys. Like, I think that it's a little, like, doctored or whatever. But a polar bear is truly jet black underneath. Just like you, underneath, behind all this, is nothing but pure beingness, you guys. Pure stillness, pure silence, pure blackness, pure voiding, pure no-thingness, just pureness. That's what's truly behind all of us, you guys. If we all had a void seizure at the same time, each one of us would collapse back into that same 0 point. Do you see what I'm saying? That same single luminous pulsating black photon, which is the ground of being, which is the bed of reality, which is what we all are. Now, the polar bear is black underneath the fur. Now, it's black because it catches all the light. It lives in a very cold place. It needs to stay warm. Every mammal is the same, so our hair is actually an extension of our skin, you guys, okay? So each hair starts at a thing called a dermal papillae, okay? And these dermal papillae are literally tissues connected to our skin. It's skin cells. It's tissue skin cells, guys. And it starts creating the hair. Now, the black skin of the polar bear literally starts folding in on itself. You guys, you have to remember the non-dual nature of reality. I remember, I'm not an academic. Guys, there's not two things going on here. There's only one thing. Remember, we've never left the void yet, okay? And remember your pupil. Your pupil is how this all comes back. So, the black skin of the polar bear folds in on itself and starts creating this transparent hair. The void folds in on itself and creates you, a transparent body, because we see the whiteness of the polar bear or the blueness of my outfit. But you guys, this is transparent. This is 99% empty space. Do you see what I'm saying? The transparent hair is representative of our awareness and the fact that our bodies are 99% empty space. They're transparent. There's nothing really here. There's no material here. And any atom, anything you can get your hands on, you guys, it's just fluctuation energy waves, and which is essentially light, which is essentially plasma, which is essentially just consciousness manifested physically, okay? Plasma, dark matter, and dark energy are just three different ways of looking at the same thing, okay? Plasma is representative of the 1% of their 99% empty space, and dark energy is like time, and matter, it's all like a bunch of shit, you guys. I'm here to discuss dark matter and dark energy. I'm here to discuss the polar bear and how there's not two things going on here. There's only one thing. So you guys, this void, which is literally called Brahman in Advaita Vedanta, Meister Eckhart, who was a Catholic monk, you guys, called it the Godhead. The Buddhists just call it the void. The scientists call it the 0 point. It's the thing that Gödel said will always make everything these people are looking for incomplete. You guys, the observer, every hole they have, everything that's missing is the awareness. Now, let me get back on. So the dermal papillae, you guys, literally the void, folds in on itself, creates the transparent hair. And you guys, when we observe the polar bear, we see the white fur. The guy who created the name of what happens when the light does this, you guys, his name is literally called Gustav Me. So it's called me scattering. So when you see the world, it's literally the me scattering. I mean, you can't write this shit, okay? Because, don't you see, the whiteness of the polar bear isn't real. It's not really white. It's a black-skinned bear with transparent hair. But it looks white. I look like a white male dressed in blue, but I'm not. I'm consciousness. I'm you. through a different dermal papillae. Don't you see that? There is no separation here. Any alien, any goat, any insect, any angel, any demon, anything in the world, you guys, that's celled plants. Not that these things have their own being. Let's not get too deep. But I'm just saying, what I'm trying to differentiate is like this. Like this right here is not, this pen is not a material thing separate from me, okay? This book is not a material thing separate from me. It's nothing but touch and sight and smell and taste and hearing, right? And that's it. There's nothing more here. There's not an actual physical thing. It just looks like a white polar bear. It just looks like a blue book, but it's not. It's not. It's just a mental representation. Anything physical you can essentially call mental. It's not a physical world, it's a mental world. So, when you're sitting in a solid chair, that's a mental representation of nature at large, of the polar bear's black skin. Bernardo calls it mind at large. The Advaita Vedantas call it Brahman. It's literally just frozen consciousness. It's you. It's literally the absolute, but as a chair for you to sit on, not a living chair. There is no matter. We need to remember that, because people are going to try to talk about panpsychism, and that's not a real thing. There's no such thing as matter. So, I guess I'll just tell you about my seizure real quick. I was at work. I think I said a few videos ago it was 2020. It was 2018. My second seizure was in 2020. I come around the corner at work. I say I don't feel good. I asked to go home earlier. My manager said no because I was always trying to get out of work because I was a drunk, lazy, not good worker. So I come around the corner at work and I'm like, I don't feel good, and I just fall. I remember collapsing right into my coworker Elliot's arms, a big kid, and he just caught me. And then you guys, literally, I just like milky, like rectangular barcode, like punctured, incomplete flash of red, green, blue. Just like just flash. Like, immediately, I suddenly collapsed, immediately saw the flash, and then immediately was awareness beingness. I was voiding, you guys. I was awareness being. Just pure blackness, pure stillness, pure silence. The silence, especially looking back, but I can remember, it was deafening. The stillness, especially looking back, but I can remember, it was ground shaking, you guys. This void seizure due to withdrawal from alcohol, which is a physical thing, no it's not. It's a mental representation affecting, but we're going to keep going. The seizure that I had was literally like nature itself, just like, the only thing I can describe is like it coming up, grabbing my face and being like, look at me, just like dragged me down and just was like, not hell, I didn't mean to make it scary, but I was just trying to be funny, like it intense, because you guys, like, I'm loving and I don't want to scare anybody, but it was so intense. It was like, you guys, I voided out. Nature grabbed me and was like, this is your pure beingness, this is your true self. And you guys, like, instantaneously I was in the ambulance. Instantaneously. But 7 to 10 minutes had gone by. What is that? What is that? That is, you guys, it took me 5 to 6 years of studying day in and day out to realize that that's, like, that's it. That's what all of this is. But the fact that, because you guys, everything we know is the whiteness of the polar bear, which means it's not entirely fundamentally real. But that's okay, because it's always changing, so there's always room to grow. But it's important, you guys, because that's the only thing that's actually important here. Math isn't important. I mean, these things are important, like math, science, history, English. I mean, I guess they're important, you guys, but they're not the basis of reality. The basis of reality is you. The basis of reality is having a good psychology so you can have a good, happy life, so we can treat each other good and well. material things, knowledge, like knowledge and wisdom, sure, but like I'm talking like textbooks upon text. Like the shit that they teach us is just, it's not real truth, you guys. It's phenomenally relative truth, okay? Let's go over it again. The polar bear is black. It looks white. We look like people. We're not actually people. We're consciousness expressed as people. The polar bear looks white. It's actually a black bear expressed as a white bear to us. Like, we look like this. We would look different to a bat, to an alien, to a snake, to a bee. We don't look like I look like to you right now, okay? That's just keeping it simple. So, again, the void is the ground of being. That's your true self. And remember, the void is A, the transparent hair is B, and the phenomenally relative world, the white fur, is C. And you guys, it all comes back to A, which is you. All of this is happening within awareness. There's not two awarenesses. There's just, there's two, to be fair, there's two aspects, sort of, but it's not two. That's why I don't like monism, because monism says one. Non-dual's perfect, because non-dual says, I acknowledge that you think that there's a dualistic nature to the world, but it's not two. It's not, and it is technically monistic, but that's not, it's not the best way to describe it. The best way to describe is to acknowledge the dualistic and say it as it's not two. It's awareness of being. Do you see what I'm saying? The being is the void. The awareness was what I was aware. You guys, remember what I said? Nature grabbed me and was like, this is what you are. And like instantaneously in the ambulance, okay? But 7 to 10 minutes in the physical world had gone by. Space-time isn't fundamental, guys. It's not that it's not real, it's just relatively real. It's phenomenally relatively real, okay? What this means, you guys, is that you are the ground of being, which means, you know, you never really die. Listen, just to express fairness, I have 27 materialist physicalists and even more that I would love to argue, debate, whatever, anytime. But just to be fair, I'll also call out, not call out, but just show you where I differ from people that I owe everything to. Like, I would differ with Bernardo in that the perennial part of the polar bear axiom, for me, I realized that, this body mind realized that through something, I think I already said it, I can't remember if I did, but not 11 words, 7 terms, 7-11. 7-Eleven's in the East. The East had this knowledge a long time ago. The West just figured it out with pinpoint technology. That's all the West did, is verify it with Max Planck, Kurt Gödel, Arthur Schopenhauer, Carl Jung, and many others. It's taking us a little bit of time as a whole to collectively get there. But the East already figured this shit out a long time ago. These 11 words in 7 terms 7-Eleven will get you the understanding, and it comes from the East. So 7-Eleven's in the East, and it's actually a really popular chain in the East too. Non-dual, naturalistic, perennial, panentheistic, absolute, transcendental-idealist, phenomenally relative realism. I think I messed it up, number counting. But you guys, 11 words, 7 terms, okay? And it's easier than memorizing 1,000 formulas. It backs the philosopher researcher into a corner. And I'm not saying take this. I'm just saying it uses their game against them. That's what I did, is I created this little 7-Eleven thing, the polar bear axiom, to back myself into a corner, to back them into a corner, you guys. Because we can't just like wait around for them to figure out how consciousness is never going to be sponged out of a brain, okay? It doesn't work like that, and we don't have time. The meaning crisis is how we know, okay? Because when you understand this, you guys, it's essentially saying you're God, okay? But not your ego, not your body, and not your mind, your presence. The presence is the polar bear. And the polar bear is a black void. That's you, an eternal, infinite potential. And that's why it's a black void, because it's infinite potential. It's everything infinitely expressed, okay? In that moment, I was literally everything and everyone. I was this. There was no me. There was no separation. There was no thing. Literally, just no thing. And then instantaneously in the ambulance. What is that? What is that? Would highly recommend not doing it that way. Just meditate, or guys, honestly, remember this formula if it helps, and you can just do the practice. I don't like meditating, you guys. I just be here now all day, and I turn that into being love now. So remember this little formula. I took it from Gödel. So the Materialists believe A equals A, that this external world, they'll figure out a mathematical formula that'll equal that. Gödel came along and said A equals B, and nobody's ever been able to disprove that. Well, I'm just saying that A, the void, equals B, the transparent awareness that we are, the transparent hair that's on the polar bear, equals C, the phenomenally relative world that we see, the white fur on the polar bear, equals A, the void. Everything comes back. It's a full loop. There is no separation here. Think about it. When I was on the floor seizing out for those 10 minutes, this body belonged to my coworkers. This body didn't belong to me. My ego was gone. You guys, I was pure no-thingness. I was pure awareness.
Meanwhile, the object is pursued on its own account and for its own.
My body belonged to them. Don't you? Our bodies belong to each other. Like, you don't control my body, but my body's in your hands. My body belongs to you in a sense of its safety and its well-being, not for you to have, but for its safety and its well-being. It belongs to you. We owe each other so much more and so much better. But it's only because, you guys, we don't know any better. We only know the white fur of the polar bear. We don't know that the polar bear is actually black. We don't know that the void is actually the ground of being, the 0 point. We don't know that we're each an infinite portal of that infinite potential. Do you see what I'm saying? And the infinite portal is expressed in the polar bear as the dermal papillae. The dermal papillae is the black skin folding in on itself to create the transparent hair. The void, the black void, folding in on itself or folding out of itself, whatever, to express it, language, to make your transparent awareness, to make the white me scattering, create the me, the white fur. It's literally called me scattering from Gustav Me. You are the essence of this world, of reality, or whatever you want to call it. We don't need them. We need them, but we don't need them to tell us what's what, you guys. We need each other, and we need food, water, shelter, happiness, love, games, community, cookouts, studying, knowledge, meditation, good times, and everything else is just, you know, like cherries on top, like great technology, or, you know, like stuff like that. We need to appreciate, not that we shouldn't have these things, we just need to learn to appreciate the smaller real things in life. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the real things are the other people, is my point. Your family, your friends, your community, the people you don't like. Because, guys, there is no separation. There's not two things going on here. There's only one thing, but it's not I don't even like calling it one. It's not two. It appears two, but it's not two. It's one. And it's not even one. It's not two. Okay? It's the ground of being and the awareness of that, but they're not separate. There's literally no separate. They are that. It's just that, and it expresses itself. If you want, maybe this little code will help. They're going to give you endless formulas. I'm giving you a few numbers. 0 is the void. 1 is the unity of nature. 2 is the way nature appears. 3 is through us, the observer, observing, the observed. Okay? And when you flip over the 3, it becomes an E. Energy. And then what is 1, 2, and 3 equal? It equals 6. And what is 6 mirrored? 9, 69. Yeah, oh, 69. No, but seriously, guys, the yin yang, and it's just, that's the 6 and the 9, guys. It's just an infinite loop of energy, don't you see? It's all a polar bear, guys. Yin yang goes on for infinity. I'll show this one again because I like this one.
Both volumes have, in the full sense
this one's
of the
pretty
word,
nice. This one helps us. This is all the best. Oh man, this one's all the best scientists. I have it in another video. You guys, what it comes down to is that we are each our own polar bear, right? But we're also each a hair on the absolute polar bear, and the absolute polar bear is Brahman. The absolute polar bear is the Godhead. The absolute polar bear is the 0 point. The absolute polar bear is the void. The absolute polar bear is the single luminous pulsating black photon. You are that which is. You don't, and we don't need them to tell us how to live and what's right and what's wrong. We need them because they're a part of us, and we need them to, you know, so they can help better our lives and we can help better their lives by becoming better people. It's all give and take because there is no separation here. Think about consciousness like electricity or water if you want. It's not consciousness. The void is doing this like you are beating your heart. You don't think about beating your heart, you just do it. The void is neutral. It's upon us, you guys. So think about it like this. Schopenhauer has the world as will and representation. Well, what about the world as the engine, combustion, and the oil of love? Because, you guys, the oil is the will. I mean, the engine is the will. The combustion is the representation. And the oil of love is the thing that Schopenhauer forgot because he's such a fucking nihilist. Pessimist. Whatever. You guys, think about it like this. Like, those 11 words or 7 terms, whatever. It's a train, and it's an engine, and combustion, and the combustion is the representation, the white fur of the polar bear. But the oil of love is what we keep forgetting about, you guys. And it's not that God is out there or anything. It's that nature works more harmoniously when we love each other, when we love ourselves, and we treat each other and ourselves better. So, all of these religions are essentially right when they say, love each other. If your religion says that, love everyone and love each other, then that's a pretty good start. Personally, I'm leaving it up for second goings, but my first dog in the fight is dogmatic materialism, physicalism, scientism, and consumerism. Religion is whatever, later. I've learned too much. We need... Science is right in your face, proof and true. So let's start there. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, a lot of the religions are dualistic, talking about a God outside of you. There isn't anything outside of you. You are that which is. Putting on a light show. This is a consciousness holographic virtual realistic light show. A Chivrils. Or a Chivrix. A conscious holographic virtual realistic qualia show. Okay? You guys, the black skin folding in on itself. That's the dermal papillae, creating the transparent hair. The me scattering, creating the white fur. Me, the ego. You, the ego, creating the world that we know. The human mind, creating the world that we know. It's not fundamentally real. It's relatively real. Yes. It's about finding that. It's like this, you guys. The only thing that's real is that which never changes. Well, what do you know in your life that's never changed? Awareness.
And this again is
everything else. So it's about finding the fundamental ground. It's not to say that your pain and your suffering and your love isn't real, because that's what materialism tells you isn't real. They tell you that your suffering is for naught, your love is for naught. I'm telling you that you are responsible for this life and the next. You see what I'm saying? So, because that's what the dermal papillae is, guys, is your mind stream or your soul, the connected portal part, the vantage point of the Godhead, the eternal Godhead, okay? The single luminous pulsating black photon. That vantage point, that's you, the dermal papillae. That's what I'm trying to say is, like, you don't just get annihilated after this life, or you don't just not live again. You do live again, you guys. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's, the dermal papillae is still the void, but that's not even your truest nature. Your truest nature is just pure nothingness, pure void. But that's nothing to be scared of, because it's infinite potential. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I'm just going to keep going till, I don't even know, but the polar bear axiom is the point I'm trying to make. The materialists are going to call you a biological meat computer. I love Bernardo Kastrup. I'm not saying anything's wrong with this. I'm saying there's something wrong with calling you a biological meat computer. But Bernardo Kastrup, not saying there's anything wrong with this, but he's just going to use a whirlpool in the ocean. Donald Hoffman's going to use a desktop interface. You know, the trash can and the folders look like trash can and a folder on your desktop, but the actual inside is a code. Well, everything looks like the white fur of a polar bear. Everything looks like the blueness of my sweatshirt, but it's not the actual truth. It's actually source code, and the source code is consciousness or awareness, or in the desktop interface, zeros and ones, or we already talked about zeros and ones. And then Federico Vagine, he's another huge idealist. Love him too. He's more about light though, talking about like flickering, blinking lights and stuff. So it's just a little different. They all have their different ways. I'm saying, you guys, you don't have to go any further than literal biology, a polar bear. It's not just a freak of physics. It's a freak of nature. It's literally the explanatory thing of nature. You, at your ground of being, are infinite potential void, eternally expressed through the dermal papillae of your mind stream, of your vantage point. Eternally creating a hair after another hair, body after another body after another body. And then the whiteness is the scattering of the light, and the white is the infinite potential for everything expressed. That's what that is. So, but the white is not really there. It's just the way it appears to us. Like, this isn't really what is truth. It's 99.999% empty space. Do you see what I'm saying, you guys? It just appears to us like a desktop interface. It appears to us like a person in a blue sweatshirt, but it's actually just pure consciousness expressing itself as disobey the debaser. Okay? So, on that note, let us follow our hearts, listen to our guts, have open minds, carry moral compasses, and let us be love now. Hashtag be love now. Follow your heart, guys. Just be yourself.